Welcome to Unveiled, the HPD podcast where we dive into the world of policing. I'm your host, Lieutenant Paula Scheck, and we are joined today by members of the SRO Unit, the School Resource Officer Unit. Afternoon. How's everybody?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Today we are joined with members of the School Resource Officer Unit. We have Officer Carter, who is the SRO at Tarrant Middle School. And we have Officer James, who is the SRO at Hunter B. Andrews.
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Alberto, Officer Alberto, who is at Jones Magnet Middle School.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Wanted to just talk a little bit about what it is that you all do in the middle schools on a day-to-day basis, as well as then, you guys do something a little special in the middle schools. And I want to talk about that today, the programs that you guys have started to kind of bridge the gap between law enforcement and our middle schoolers. So, Carter, would you like to start with
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about your school and your students and
Sure.
what you do there.
Yes, ma'am. So I have three, but I'm at Tarrant. And so the biggest thing is safety and security. That's our primary goal before anything else. So just making sure that the day-to-day operations, making sure the exterior doors are always locked and our surrounding areas are safe and secure. And then on top of that, it's creating that environment for the kids, creating that positive environment for the kids, and just talking to them every day, being there for them, just try to create a good atmosphere for the SRO, and so that way the kids can have a positive experience with SRO being in the building.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a huge job.
Right.
James, Officer James, tell me about how many students you have in your school. Do you know approximately?
I have a big school.
You do have
My
a big
school
school.
is pre-K through 8. Approximately holds, last I checked, it was about 830 students.
Wow, and you have a big age group.
Yes.
Age range
Yes.
from
Yes.
kindergartners all the way through 8th grade.
Pre-K
Yes.
through 8th grade. So all the way up and down the emotional totem pole for my school. I keep a happy smile on for the pre-K and up from when they're walking through the hallways, when I keep a stern face when my older kids is walking through the hallways so they understand. But just like Officer Carter said, our main focus, number one, is safety. I try to make it a goal to learn and memorize at least 2 to 3 kids' names a day. So I have them stop in my office and they don't get to leave until I remember their names. So then if I make them late, then I walk them to class. But I think it's just the small things to show them that we notice them. When I first joined the unit and I realized how much the kids shy away from engaging with law enforcement, it's really about the little things you do to try to bridge that gap. And it could be as much as just, hi. And then even if they don't want to talk, just say bye and let them walk away. And then eventually they'll start coming along.
They warm up to you. Do you mind sharing, of course, as the supervisor of the SRO unit, I had the pleasure of interviewing you for the unit. And you told me a remarkable story about you growing up and why you were so passionate about joining the SRO unit. And I hate to put you on the spot, but if you don't mind, do you mind sharing
Not at all.
a little bit about that?
So I was born in New York, raised in a tough area, and engagement with police was little to none, and it was, always deemed not to. I played sports, and I had a school resource officer in my high school at the time that just took an interest into me and a couple of my classmates that seen that, we had potential to do good. And he always used to hammer it in us and, stay focused. And I had I would say, tough conversation with him at one point where he was saying to understand both sides of, policing, but I told him I'll never become a police officer, so we don't have to worry about that. But after, programs like PALS and things like that where I've engaged with him more, he actually, encouraged me to take up the mantle to see what it's like. So I've always questioned, what it would be like and to try to understand both sides of it. So if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have joined law enforcement. But just understanding him being a school resource officer, that's where it starts. And that's where he implemented the seed for growth right then and there. And I took the step, became an officer. But, you know, you have to have those people who are invested. You know, you can't save everyone, but each handout that you take, you know, someone's going to grab your hand, and that's going to be life-changing for that person. It was life-changing for me, so.
That's such a great story. And, you know, you definitely have to have a passion for this position and enjoy what you do, and it definitely shows in the SRO unit and the three of you especially. Officer Roberto.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me a little bit about, I saw some pictures on Facebook of you playing an instrument with your students. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm a musician. I self-taught myself 14 plus instruments. I was in band all the way from elementary school and even after high school. So my office is right near the band room, and so I can hear them playing every single day. And I went to the band teacher, Miss Fatek, and I was like, hey, can I play with one of your classes just, you know, to show the kids that, you know, like outside of this uniform and everything like that, you know, I am a person as well, and, you know, we have a lot of the same interest. So I picked up the euphonium is what I play, and sat next to the kids and started playing with the kids, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So it was a really special moment to me to share my passion with my kids as well at the school.
That's awesome. Yeah, what you know, they were shocked
Yes.
to see you, and I think that's what it's all about. You know, showing them that you know
We're normal, too.
yeah, we might wear a uniform, but we have families, and we're all the same. So, well, thank y'all for that. And I want to just kind of touch on, you guys have created some incredible programs at your schools, and so I wanted just to talk a little bit about what it is that you've done. And Officer Carter, you've actually won an award from your school for the program that you have created. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Yes, ma'am. So my group is called Young Men of Distinction. And so it really started just with having great staff at Tarrant. We're having a great community engagement specialist with Ms. Smith and our principal and Ms. Montgomery that really supported us, really supported the idea and loved the idea, and really wanted an SRO at that school that was passionate about it as well. And so she was very fortunate when I got there last year, and I came in with the door with that idea. And so she was all on board. So it started with that support first, with the school support for sure.
Absolutely.
And then talking to parents and talking to parents about the idea. I also have a help, Bishop Riddick, who is the pastor at Gethsemane Baptist Church in Newport News. He comes over. We have one tomorrow, actually. And he comes over and he helps us out. We do life lesson skills. I've partnered with New Horizons, where we teach them how to change tires on their vehicles, check oil, just basic things that young men should know how to do.
Tie a tie.
Tie a tie, yes, ma'am. So we also have tie lessons as well. We have a DJ at our school who has taught the boys how to, you know, if they want to be a DJ. So just trying to teach the kids different traits of life and different skills. A lot of young men at our school, you know, some of them, they never knew how to change a tire before. And so hopefully just in trying to, you know, planting those good seeds, you know. So with the young men not knowing how to change a tire, you know, if they don't know how to do it that day, well then in our lesson, they've learned something, hopefully. So they go home, if they're in that spot, if they're their mom, the mom doesn't know how to do it, then maybe that young man can, you know, show the mom, hey, the mom, this is how you do it. And so that, and just trying to, you know, have the young man kind of just be a little bit, you know, I was very fortunate. I had really good parents as, you know, coming up. I had a dad that was really impactful in my life. Had other young men, and I had other men in my life that was really, you know, helped me out. And so just want to be that. It takes a village to raise a child.
Oh, absolutely.
And so,
we're all of us are parents.
For sure.
We get that.
And so it definitely takes a village to raise a child. And so, you know, just trying to be planting good seeds. I think that's the biggest thing, you know, especially with at Tarrant, you know, I mean, just, you know, can we plant good seeds and then watch them grow? It's not going to happen overnight. You know, the things that we're telling them, things that we're teaching them and trying to show them, our expectations is, hey, we want to see it like right now, right? And that'd be great. But, you know, we were all 12, 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And I was a knucklehead at 12, 13, 14 years old. And so I know for a fact it's not going to happen in a week or a month or a year. It takes time. Absolutely. And maybe 10 years from now, something that we say to them, something we tell them, And 10 years from now, maybe that's, hey, I remember what Officer Carter told me. I remember what Officer James told me. I remember what Officer Berta told me. I'm in my mid-20s, but now it makes sense to me. And
Right.
so the seeds that we plant today, we may not see them grow and flourish while we're in the unit. We may see that something that they happen as they get older in life.
Absolutely. And I think it's so important to lay that foundation while they're in middle school. And in your case, you get them even younger, starting at, pre-K. So, Officer James, do you mind telling me a little bit about, and our viewers, a little bit about your program?
Yes, my program is called Mentality. I have about 9 strong right now. Consistently that showed up for the 3 programs that I have completed. Only 4 showed up, and then they waited to see.
I want to hear what it was
They
about.
wanted to hear what it was about,
Yeah.
and it was, oh, we're going to make sure we come to the next one, we're going to come to the next one. But what I was shocked to see at first was how the parents refused. And at first, it took me a couple of times to reach out to them, like, hey, this is free of cost to you. If that's what you're worried about, it's free of cost to you. It's just time. Just let me get an hour with them 2 times a week, once a week, once a month. I'll create a schedule that works around your time if you're worried about pickup and stuff like that. But part of my program that I just incorporated also was getting feedback from parents of their time and what they have going on and stuff like that. Because what I've learned with the kids in my school, with my program, the difficulty of getting it off the ground at first was the parents being still unsure of law enforcement. And I'll send out emails to the point I know they were I know they were annoyed with me until I see them in the office like, hey, the permission slip I gave you, did you give it? Stand right here. I'll go get one in the office right now. I just need you to sign it. Just let them. And it's not until when they see that you're not getting anything out of it. Because I had a parent tell me like, well, what do you get out of it? I don't get paid for it. I don't get anything for it. So this is just the experience that was bestowed upon me. I just want to bestow it upon the kids. And I have one kid in particular now whose dad looked me straight up in my face and said, I don't like the police. And believe it was last week when this kid came to my program and came to pick him up. We sat and talked for 30 minutes. Probably would have been longer if I didn't recognize the time and I had to go. But we had a long conversation, and it wasn't until we realized that outside of uniform, once again, that we are just regular people. Yeah. But now that I have the backing of the parents fully, it's been a lot easier. So, and just to piggyback off what Carter said, I would reach out with him to utilize some of the resources that he's used, the mechanic stuff, and I bring more of an aspect of outside curriculum. My brother plays in Italy. He has NBA connects. When I was back home in New York, I was able to reach out and have them come meet the kids. So there's a lot of the aspects that I want to do. It would take time to be able to schedule it correctly, but I do have big plans for my program as well.
And that is so. That's a good point to bring up because you have just joined the unit. So the fact that you have done this in the short amount of time that you've been assigned, this is your first school year. So the fact that you took this program and ran with it and started it from scratch at your school, being so new to the unit is. I snagged you from midnight shift, so. But it's so you in the schools, the 3 of you in the schools, it's so very important what you're bringing. So, Officer Berto, tell us about your program.
So my program is called She Leads. I believe it's 17 students right now. My group is an all-girls group, so I teach them anywhere from conflict resolution to public speaking. They actually really enjoyed the public speaking aspect. I put like a bunch of random words in a jar and shaked it up, and they picked a word out, and then they had to talk about that word for 2 minutes.
Wow.
And they had, I believe we did that in CIT.
Yeah, I was
yes.
going to say, you put them right through a police class.
But they did phenomenal. And they wanted to do it again, so we did public speaking a second time, and a lot of their speaking has improved with them presenting projects in class. And we also we had guest speakers come and speak at one of my programs. We had Chaplain Baldwin and then Miss Mason, which is our social media coordinator, and they really enjoyed that. And we talked about purpose in life and, you know, what comes out of that and who you are as an individual. And at their age, you know, like you said, we were all 13 and 14 years old at one point, and you're lost, you know?
Absolutely. And the importance of being safe on social media is huge with all of the kids, but especially the young females.
Yes.
So.
But they did phenomenal, and they asked a lot of great questions. And I definitely reached out to Officer Carter about, you know, the mechanics part as well for the girls to kind of get hands-on and, you know, learn what it's like to change a tire and possibly check oil. I know I definitely needed that a few times. I didn't know how to do it when I was growing up, but it's been going great so far, and we're looking forward to the springtime, because with the springtime we're gonna try and build some planters out back of Jones and start our own garden and see how that goes. So I know the girls are very excited for that.
That's great. So have you guys thought about doing any thoughts about trying to stay in touch with your kids during the summertime? Because of course we reconnect you know, during, you know, we stay so close with our students, and then we break for the summer, and then we get sent to the beach for beach patrol when school's out. So I think you're working on something over there.
Yes,
Plans
ma'am.
are brewing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There is a plan in place that we're working on. And I would love to.
I know it's in the infancy stages, and I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, ma'am.
But
It is something that I would love to see do. I think it'd be a great addition to the city. And you know, just think all three of us are just really big into just wanting to be the form as much as possible. You know, we're with the kids from August to June, and then we don't see them again till August again, till open house, right? And so it's, you know, it'd be great if we can have something in place which hopefully if we can get this event going to where we can be with them some more. And it'd be a free event for the city, for the residents, for these kids.
just trying to do something.
Correct.
Yeah, some kind of program, camp, or something that we can.
Yes, ma'am.
Come up with.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you guys are. I know you're trying to spearhead, so.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's
Yes, ma'am.
It's going to be a great,
Yes, ma'am.
great program.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you know, you guys, it's just. I always worry about kids, because especially when they take that leap, because I've seen it with my own kids, when they take that leap from middle school to high school. Sure. And I feel like that's why and you guys all have elementary schools as well that you cover. But, you know, to be in the middle schools and to be able to get their ear before they get to high school, you know, they kind of know what y'all are all about and what we do. And I just think your programs that you guys have created to get to know them better and them to know you guys better, and Officer James, like you said, the parents as well. You're not just in these schools to, you know, patrol and walk the halls and tell them to go to class. That's not what you do at all. Right. So,
and to speak to that point, LT, so we do a breakfast called an All-Pro Dad Breakfast at Tarrant, where we have the dads. It's for dads, but we also invite moms as well nowadays. And so all parents can come. They can bring their child. We do it for an hour before school starts, at 7:30 to 8:30, before we even open our doors at Tarrant. And we talk about different topics. The All-Pro Dad program provides us topics that we can pick and choose from. Last month it was social skills. Dr. Savage, who is the 7th grade principal there, he talked about to the parents and the kids about social skills. The different dynamics of social skills, you know, the pros of that, and some of the challenges that the kids have nowadays, because everything's on their phone. And so the kids are so used to talking through text messages or Snapchat or Instagram, they're uncomfortable at times talking face to face. And so, you know, we talked about the different things of that aspect and things that we can do better as, you know, the people in the school buildings, and then things that parents can, so we all can work on together.
You give them a voice.
Correct, yeah. And we feed them. We provide them Chick-fil-A most of the time, and free breakfast and everything. And we really want the parents to know that, we're not just, it's not two separate teams. It's all one team.
Right.
And it takes a village. It takes a lot of times more than just, my parents couldn't just do it by themselves to raise me. I was a knucklehead. So it took the teachers, it took the principals, it took a counselor, it took a lot of different people, it took an SRO, it took a whole lot of different people to get me to where I'm at today, thankfully. And so, and that's all I'm trying to do with the All Pro Dad program. That's just one more aspect of, trying to get the dads, trying to get more parents involved in school. And anyway, I think the science has proven that if the parents are more involved in the school, that child is way more likely to be successful throughout that school year.
Oh, yeah. And I know sports is near and dear to your heart, Officer James, so I'm sure you've got some, you guys are all going, watching their basketball games, and how often is it that, do y'all have kids that say, hey, I'm going to be playing basketball on such and such night, or I've got a football game this weekend? I've heard y'all say they ask you to come to watch them in their sports. And
I've already got permission from the school to pull kids from their resource to give them extra basketball training. So
I knew you'd figure out a way to do that.
Yeah, I'm
just
still
knew
trying to figure out. I'm working with our athletic coordinator, Miss Person, now to find me a spot on the staff, on the coaching staff. Basketball, I'm 100% adamant on. So
I knew it.
Yeah, I'm at all the lunches, and we talking about the game before. I'm at most of their resources, especially when they're in the gym, and I'm running around with them. But yeah, so I'm gonna be.
Well, you guys are doing just amazing things in our schools, and I can't thank you enough for everything that you do. And I appreciate your time today to get it out and let our viewers see exactly what it is that you do on a daily basis. So thank you guys for being here today.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's going to wrap up this episode of Unveiled. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for joining us for Unveiled, a podcast highlighting the extraordinary men and women of the Hampton Police Division. To learn more, check us out on our social media and at hampton.gov/police.